Okay. Let me talk a little bit about choice or free will uh, that I talk about in my books, separate from Hug and with Hug as well, since they directly relate to our humanity and our mentality and what we're capable of. Um, I hear a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people say that there is no choice, there is no free will, that we are 100% bound to the necessity of chance and the circumstances that be. Um, to me, this is ridiculous and doesn't give you, if you really believe that, doesn't give you any reason to ever try to change anything. Um, but of course, it's real. Of course, there is choice. Not for anything else that I know of besides humans, but for humans, which for all intents and purposes is what matters. We have the ability to choose. We have the ability to make choices. Um, I'm someone who, for the longest time, um, was very sheltered and just assumed without any thought that things were the way that they were, and I didn't think about choice or anything else. I just assumed I was making choices. Um, but the fact is, I wasn't. I was so strongly subconsciously just living instance to instance that was determined. It was completely determined by necessity. It was the outside existing and my subconscious um, making necessary um, singular determinations based upon it. That's the way most of us do live, most if not all the time. But we have the ability to not do that. We have the ability to find the reasons and the willpower um, to make actual choices, to actually alter that necessity. I used to have no choice in terms of that I knew of. I had no choice in terms of getting anxious. I used to have really bad social anxiety. I had no other option. If chance necessitated it, if the circumstances were right, it just happened. I worked on what where that fear came from, what that fear was, and the fact that I really wanted to get better enough, um, and it changed. I can make choices to limit that anxiety. I can make choices to limit my laziness. I can make choices to limit any all of my impulsive nature. Um, Lust and joy and love and hate and anger and prejudice and bigotry and conceit and greed, those are all have the option of being a choice. Um, you're not really living and you're not really connecting to all of your humanity until you're admitting and trying to honor your ability to choose. Um, Odds are that if you're not doing that, you're limiting yourself 100%, but you're also having negative effects by having that impulsive nature that leads to a complete ignorance of your determinations. Um, that ignorance of the fact that you're not making choices. You are completely allowing yourself subconsciously to just be a victim of circumstance without even knowing it. You're in the matrix. You're in that pod and you're plugged in, but to you, everything's gravy. So I don't want to go on too long, but I just want to talk a little bit about choice and put a video on here about how genuine and real that it is. Um, and I could stop at 4:52, or I could make a choice and I could just randomly stop it without looking at the clock.